हेलो एवरीवन, कैसे हो आप लोग? आई थिंक एम आई ऑडिबल? आई थिंक इज इट ऑडिबल एंड चलो. So we are going to start, and I think this foundation batch is going on already, and you guys are done with. You guys are already done with strength of material, right? And now we are going to start thermodynamics. And in the next 4 classes, we are going to cover around like first chapter first, and like whatever we can cover in this part, and then we will cover later. Okay. So these classes 18, 19, 20, 21, we are 20. Okay, no. What is happening here? There is some. This is 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay. I think we have 4 days. ठीक है, Monday to Thursday we will be focusing on these 4 lectures. Basically we try to cover as much as possible, then we will cover whatever is left in the next class. Okay, chalo. So before we start, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I have 6+ years of teaching experience. I have taught for GATE, ESC, AE, JEE, other public sector exams. I have done MTech from IIT Kharagpur. I have done MSc from Polytechnic Milano. 3.5 years of industry and research experience I have. A few research publications. Okay. And I guess you all know me already. So my area of expertise is basic and applied thermodynamics and heat transfer. Okay. So guys, Abhinav sir is coming up with strategy session, preparation strategy in GATE 2025. Okay, and this workshop will be on 20th of March. So do not forget to attend this workshop. This is going to actually help you to plan your preparation journey. Okay, and also guys, if you want to prepare for GATE 2025 and something financially you are facing any issue, then you can sit for scholarship test. The last one was on 14th, but the next one will be, I think, end of this month. Very soon you will get the update. So you will get from 10% to 90% of scholarship for the vision batches. Okay. So vision batches, as you all know, very structured course that we have planned for GATE 2025 specifically, 25 and 26. Okay. So this foundation batch is going on. You all already know. I have told you. SOM is done, and then I will cover thermodynamics. Then Chandrasekhar sir will take fluid mechanics. Right? Chaliye. If you have not joined my Telegram channel, do join the Telegram channel, because that is the only mode of communication between you and me. Okay, I will be sharing my PPTs also there. Right now, there's some issue with PPTs. Okay, I'm not able to. Just 1 second. Okay, so basically, if you have not joined my Telegram channel, do join Telegram channel, Mechanical by Vipin Yadav. Either you can search it by the name, just search it, okay, or you can just scan this QR code, because all the updates that you see about my classes, my paid classes, my free app classes, and other details as well. Basically, that is the only way you can communicate with me. If you are in vision batches or paid batches, if you have doubts, you can ask directly from the through the Telegram group. ठीक है, चलिए. So I think we should start now. Okay, we'll start now, guys. So just 1 second. Okay. Now, तो start करते हैं session. First of all, we need to understand what is the syllabus of basic thermodynamics. Okay, because when we talk about thermodynamics, it is not just thermodynamics. Okay, you have to understand what is the role of thermodynamics in your preparation journey. That is very important. Now, when we talk about thermodynamics, okay, or thermal engineering, let us say. Now, I guess you all know this, that when you go for MTech, okay, or MSc, or like any other master's program, then in mechanical engineering you have major three specialization. First is your design, then it is thermal, and the last is manufacturing. Now, in few places it is production, in few places it is manufacturing, but more or less it is divided into three major classifications. So these three domains you will get when you go to any IIT. Okay. Now there are other domains as well which is related to mechanical, but these are three core domains. Okay, design, thermal, and manufacturing. Now there are people who have interest in machine design, who have interest in SOAM, who have interest in theory of machines. So these people usually go for design branch. Okay, and it also of course depends upon your rank, how much score you are getting. So I think people with higher score usually have the possibility of getting design. Okay, but people with slightly lesser score choose thermal and then manufacturing. I mean, it is a general trend, but of course it depends on the interest that you have. Okay, now if you like thermodynamics, okay, like if you have focused on thermodynamics during your preparation, then student go for thermal engineering. Okay, and if your favorite subjects are, for example, your manufacturing, your production, industrial, not even industrial does not come into that. But if you have, like CAD, CAM, manufacturing, production, all these subjects, they are your favorite, then students go to manufacturing branch. But the point here that I am making is that there is one complete domain that you unlock by studying thermodynamics. One complete domain. Okay. So one domain is design, one domain is thermal, one is manufacturing. Okay. If you focus on thermodynamics, you are unlocking a completely new domain, complete domain for you. And not just it is important for your MTech, but if you go for interviews in public sector units, for example, ONGC, NTPC, BHEL, all these companies or any power plant, okay, mostly these are power plant, like PSUs are power plant, right? So when you go MRPL or any other power plants as well, so when you go for interviews, thermodynamics and power plant specifically is the most common subject that they ask, because that is more relatable. Okay, that is more relatable. So most of the questions they focus from thermodynamics, and you can, if you tell them, basically it is a general topic that they ask you what is your favorite subject. So if you tell them thermal or power plant, then most of the questions will be directed to that particular subject. Okay, but the point is that these PSUs are directly related, or they directly relate to what you are going to study in basic and applied thermodynamics. Okay, now basic thermodynamics. So when we talk about thermal engineering in whole, so thermal engineering is basically divided into two parts. Okay, first is basic thermodynamics, and then we have applied thermodynamics. Then we have applied thermodynamics. So what is the difference? So see, basic thermodynamics, I would say it is important, of course, in several aspects, but it is not very important from interview point of view. But again, that is your right now, that is not your priority, that is not your primary concern. Primary concern is gate, right? Your primary concern right now is not interview, right? So right now, what do you want? You want a good gate rank. That is your main priority right now. Okay. So again, basic thermodynamics from interview point of view is not. It is important, of course, not very important, because in basic thermodynamics, we basically talk about concepts. We talk about concepts. We do not talk about real life applications, okay? But these concepts are applied to the applied thermodynamics. Applications in applied thermodynamics, we talk about applications, real life applications. Whatever equipments, whatever power plant, Rankine cycle, Breton cycle, heat engine, IC engine, Otto cycle, diesel cycle, all these are real life engines, real life applications basically. Heat pump, refrigerator, air conditioning, all these we study in applied thermodynamics and they are real life applications. Now, applied thermodynamics are important from interview point of view. Very, very important. Applied thermodynamics is very, very, very important from interview point of view. But again, right now your focus is not, I mean, it will be a concern, but right now your primary concern is gate. You want a good rank in gate. And therefore, basic thermodynamics is the most important subject that you need to focus on. And there is one more reason that you need to focus on basic thermodynamics, that without basic thermodynamics, you will never be able to understand applied thermodynamics. Never. Note this point. Without basic thermodynamics, whatever you do, even if you study applied thermodynamics, now when we talk about applied thermodynamics, we have three subjects, okay? Refrigeration and air conditioning, IC engine, and power plant. Okay, so when I say applied thermodynamics, I mean these three subjects. Okay, so what I am saying is, even if you study these three subjects 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you will never be able to conceptually understand these subjects, because all the concepts come from basic thermodynamics. So you can never study these three subjects without understanding basic thermodynamics. Okay, so again, what is the importance of basic thermodynamics? First, it is very important from GATE exam point of view. Of course, not from interview point of view, but interview is not our concern right now. Right now, our concern is GATE score. Yes. So basic thermodynamics is very important from GATE point of view. Also, basic thermodynamics is very, very important if you want to study or prepare applied thermodynamics. Because without basic thermodynamics, you will never know this point. You will never be able to understand applied thermodynamics. Okay. Whatever you do, even if you study 10 times all the subjects, but if you have not done basic thermodynamics properly, concepts will not be clear. You may be able to remember the formula, you may be able to remember the cycle, but conceptually it will not be clear. Okay. So that is why basic thermodynamics is very important, because basic thermodynamics will open a complete new domain for you, which is thermal engineering. Okay. So you can go for interviews, NTPC, BHEL, ONGC, or you can do for masters. You can go. Okay. So thermal engineering is, if you are studying thermodynamics, it is giving you an edge, because it is opening a completely new domain for you, which is thermal engineering. Okay. Now let us see the syllabus of basic thermodynamics. So we are going to talk about applied thermodynamics. I already told you, in applied thermodynamics we have these three subjects, but this we study after basic thermodynamics. Okay. Right now our focus is basic thermodynamics, and when we talk about the official syllabus of GATE, so what you see on the screen is the official GATE syllabus. Okay. Now in the official GATE syllabus, they have given so many things, but they have missed few very important things as well. Okay, but it does not mean they are not in the syllabus. It is these things are very important, and you need to study. You cannot skip those topics. I mean, if you just focus on what is written in the syllabus and you going to study those topics, then you will be at a loss. Okay, so when we talk about the syllabus, we start with basic thermodynamic systems and processes. Okay. Basic thermodynamics. We will talk about the syllabus in detail. Right now, just see what is the syllabus. Then we talk about it in detail. Okay. So thermodynamic systems and processes. Right now I am not talking about syllabus. I am just showing you that this is given in your syllabus. Then we have properties of pure substances. So pure substances means, so basically which is homogeneous in chemical composition and physical structure. Okay. So here we study when you have pure solid, pure liquid, pure gas, or a mixture of liquid and solid, a mixture of liquid and gas. Then how do they behave? How does their property change? This is what we study in here. Then we study behavior of ideal and real gases. Okay. After that we move on to the, so this is all basic. This is all basic introduction part. Then we go on to the thermodynamic laws. So first law is, I mean it's very confusing, but the very first law that we study is Zeroth law. And then we study first law basically. Okay. But there is a reason that we study Zeroth law before. Okay. But the very first law that we study is Zeroth law, and then we go to first law. Okay. So we talk about Zeroth law, first law, and then when we study first law, we have to talk about work, heat, and different processes. Isoporic, isobaric, isothermal, adiabatic, polytropic. Okay. Then we talk about second law of thermodynamics. And in second law only, there is a very important topic that is not even written, but I would say it is very important. It is one of the most important topics. Okay. Entropy. Okay. Then we have thermodynamic property charts and tables, available energy, availability and irreversibility, thermodynamic relation. Right now I am not talking about syllabus. I am just showing you this is the syllabus. I mean I will talk about syllabus in more detail. Right now just absorb this information. This is your syllabus for GATE exam. Okay. Now even for next year, for 2025, it will not change much. Maybe 1%, not even 1%. Okay. But even if it changes, not more than 1%. Okay. But this will remain. It will be the syllabus. Okay. Chaliye. Abhi again, we'll talk about the syllabus in more detail. But right now, let's see what is the weightage. What is the weightage for your basic thermodynamics? Okay. Let us. So this is the average basically. This is the average. But let's leave this for now. Let's talk here. When we talk about basic thermodynamics, so basic thermodynamics on an average, if I talk about last 5-10 years of weightage, so basic thermodynamics is, the weightage is, question comes around 2 to 3, okay, around 2, 3 or maximum 4, 2 to 4 questions. And the average weightage I will tell you is 5.5. Average weightage. So what is my average weightage? Sir, some certain year it will come for 6 marks, certain year it will come for 6.5 marks. In some year it will come for 4 marks, 4.5 marks. So if I do the average of last 10 years, it is 5.5. यानी कि 5.5 number का out of 100. Okay, this out of 100. You will see basic thermodynamics. Now it can go up to 7 as well. Remember this. It can go up to 7 as well. But 5 number का तो it will come. 5 to 7 marks you are going to see. Okay. Then we talk about applied thermodynamics. We have RAC, we have IC engine, and we have power plant engineering. So power plant engineering, even for this 2024, there was 2 to 5 marks of power plant engineering we have seen. 5 marks of power plant. You see, even in 2023, 2024, we have seen 5 marks. I think 5 or 4 marks of power plant engineering. 4, absolutely it is not less than 4, but I think it is 5 marks. Okay. But if you do the average out of the last 10 years, it comes to around 3 marks. Okay, 3 to 4 marks average, 3 or 3.5, let us say. RAC is around 1.5 marks average, I am saying, okay, average. So what do you mean by 1.5? Baba, in some year you will get 2 marks, some year you will get 1 mark, some year you will get 3 marks. So average, if you do in last 10 years, it is around 1.5 marks, and this is around 2 marks. So now what is the total? Around 7 marks, okay, 7 out of 100. So total, if you see, this is on an average comes out of 12 marks out of 100. So 12% of syllabus comes from basic and applied thermodynamics. Okay. So if you study basic and applied thermodynamics, you will get around 12 to 13 marks or 12 to 13% out of 100. You are going, you are targeting, you are focusing, you are preparing for 12 to 13 marks if you are studying this subject. Okay, sometimes it is more, sometimes it is less, but almost it, if you ask me the average, then at least you can see 12 to 14 marks. Okay, that is the range. Sorry, 11 to 14 you can say. Almost in this range you are going to see. Some year it will be 13, some year it will be 11, some year it will be 14, but on average it is 12, I can see. So that is your weightage for basic and applied thermodynamics. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now, let's go to the syllabus. Okay, so what are the references that you can use when you prepare this subject? So not just applicable for basic thermodynamics, but also for applied thermodynamics. So what are the things that you need to focus on? So guys, look, we spend a lot of time. You will not believe how much time we spend to prepare the PPTs. Okay, even when you see this PPT, you will understand that how much time we spend to prepare the PPTs. Now, why do we spend this much time? You have to understand. Okay, we can also write everything. Once we come into class, we can write everything on the PPT. But there are, I assume, I won't talk about everyone, but for me, there are few reasons that I prefer that most of the things are written, but whatever I want to explain, I can explain and write for you. Okay. Now, why? I know that there are people who just write everything in the class, but for me, there are few reasons. First reason is language, technical language. I would say use of technical language. Because if in the class I start writing something, I will not use the language that I have used already, because the language that I have used is taken from book. Okay, most of it is taken from book. So मतलब ये बहुत क्लियरली आपको ये बताना चाह रहे हैं कि किस तरह से आपको लिखना है. For example, even if you are targeting ESC, or even if you are targeting any, like when you want to explain something to someone, okay, so what language you need to use. अगर मैं पेन से लिखूंगा तो I will not be writing in that language. I will be skipping few things, I will be saying few things, I will be writing some other thing. So you will not get the technical, you will not absorb the technical language. First thing. Second thing is, I am assuming I am very good. Let us assume that I am very good in my subject. Even if I am very good, I might not remember 5% of the things. Okay, so 5% things could be missed, because when I explain everything and nothing is written here, so maybe I am able to explain 95% of the things, but 5%, 4% thing, there is a possibility that might slip my mind and I will not able to give you that information, and that is your loss, not my loss. Okay, so I do not want to do it. So what I do is I write down points by points, and then whatever needs explanation, I explain it to you. So this way, the chances of missing something reduces very much. Okay, so I am assuming the worst case scenario. Okay, maybe something is going on in my mind, maybe something, maybe I'm explaining something to you, or maybe at the end time is not left that much, so I'm rushing down, rushing on things. Okay, बहुत जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ा रहा हूँ मैं, तो maybe I can miss. So the point is, even if it is written already, even if I want, I cannot miss, right? Because you will know that this thing I need to explain, but I did not explain. If it is not written, even you don't know. You will only know जब when it will come in exam. जब एग्जाम में आ जाएगा, जब आप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने जाओगे, तो आपको लगेगा ये तो पढ़ा ही नहीं हमने. Okay, so I really do not want to suffer for that. Look, even if, for example, class is late or something is happening, I will tell you that this is something. Maybe give it a leave. At least that is the least I can do. But you will know that there is this topic, or there is this definition, or there is this particular information that you need to know. So I want to reduce this loss of information. Okay. Third thing, it gives more time for explanation. Because if I Kalakal blocks, Baba, tell me one thing. I have been speaking for last half an hour. I most, like in the worst case scenario, I might have used 2 or 3 sentences in Hindi. Yes or no? Yes or no? I might have used 2 or 3 sentences, maximum 5 sentences in Hindi. Yes. So, Baba, this class is for everyone, okay? But I know that people who understand Hindi, they can understand English, okay? But there could be few people who cannot understand Hindi. So most of my communication, or whatever is important, is in English only, okay? It is just few things. So if in half an hour I am saying 5 sentences in Hindi, does not, okay, disrupt the flow. You are not missing anything, trust me. Whatever I have said in Hindi was not important. Okay, it was just for fun. Got it? Do not worry about that. Okay? Chalo. So the third point is, if it gives us more time for explanation, it gives us more time for taking care of your doubts. Otherwise, if I keep writing everything in the class, I would say if you have a 2-hour class, if we have a 2-hour class, and 45 minutes I am just spending in writing what is not required. Okay, what is important, either I have already written, or I will tell you, I will explain you. But that writing is basically, I would believe, it is just only taking much more time, and that time to be better utilized to explain, to take up your doubts, or to spend, we can spend that time to give you more examples. Okay, so that is one more reason that I prefer things are written in the paper. Okay, so there are some reasons as well. Okay, but I think I have given you enough reasons, and that is why the very first reference that you need to take is presentation slides. Trust me, guys. Trust me. The slides that I will give you, it is a bundle of information. It is very filtered information that you will not get anywhere. You will not get anywhere these slides, okay? Everything is written in a very professional way, very technical way, very, no, it is not even bookish language. I have not just copy pasted from book. I have modified that language in a way that you can understand that better. Okay, so it is basically a, what do you say, a mine for you, or something, I don't know, gold mine for you. Okay, but if you just use these presentation slides to make your notes, it will save a lot of time. First thing. So presentation slides are the first reference material that you can use. Okay. Second is notes. Now, sir, what notes? Should I buy notes from market? Sir, will you give me your own notes? Sir, should I use my friend's notes? And how should I prepare notes? Okay, so this is a very different topic, that how should we prepare notes. But in a very simple language, if you ask me, sir, what do you mean by nodes? So when I talk about nodes, look, nodes is something, it is a very elaborative explanation. So the presentation slide is my perspective of things. Okay, it is my how I see things. Whatever I am giving you in the form of the presentation slide, it is my view on the things. If yeah, how I see a concept, how I understand a concept. Now, you might have a different perspective about that concept. I mean, basically, you maybe when I explain you things, you understand in a different way. But what is written in my slides are they are written in a different language. So what will you do? I would highly recommend in write that concept in the language in a manner that you have understood. When I explain something, okay, look, I don't care if I teach in a Hindi batch or English batch. Okay? So if you ask me in Hindi, I'll explain in Hindi. If you ask me in English, I'll explain in English. Okay, even if it is an English batch, and if student ask me, so if it is an English batch, I always explain first in English. But if someone asks me, sir, can you explain this in Hindi or something, I explain that in Hindi as well. Now, the point here is, the point here is, the point here is, Saurabh, this is really not appreciable, okay? Oh, we are something in between, right? So, no, we are in between of something. So, if you want to ask these kind of things, either you know my Telegram group, yes or no. Either you can text in Telegram, okay, or you can wait till the end of the class. If I am saying something, let me finish. Okay, so this I have to teach something in this 1.5 hour. Okay, so once I finish that, then you can ask any doubt. But that is not related to the class. Okay, that's why I have given everyone Telegram group. Join that. If you are not joined, ask there. Okay. So notes is something that you write in your language. If I explain you something in my language, in English, in Hindi, in Urdu, in whatever language I know, in whatever language you understand, but you have to write that in a language, in a manner that you have understood. Whatever you have understood. I have seen a lot of students even write things in Hindi, or they mix English and Hindi. So it looks very funny when you look at that, but trust me, that is very, very helpful. So if you write it in that manner, it is going to imprint on your mind. Okay. Otherwise, if you are going to read what I have written, you will get confused. Okay. So you have to write it in your own language. That is the notes part. So that is why you need to make two type of notes. First is long form notes. Long form notes. And second is short form notes. Sir, what is long form notes? Now, long form notes means you have to write each and everything, whatever comes to your mind that you think I should write for a particular concept. Each and everything. Because trust me, right now if I am saying something and you have understood it perfectly, and you think that you are never in your life going to forget it. But that is what you think right now. After 5 days, after 6 days, you will not remember anything. Trust me. You will not even remember what was the topic. So, whatever you think is important, whatever you have understood today, you have to write in your notes, long form notes. Okay? You have to write in your long form notes. If this is your page, divide this into 70-30, okay? Divide it into 70-30. This is 70%, this is 30%. So this here you will write long form, here you will write short form. So here you will write everything, the topic name, some 2-3 lines about that, some formula you can write, in the formula, what is the terminology? Okay, what is gamma, what is n, whatever is there. You have to write everything. If there is any important trick that you can use, that you can write here. Okay, that you can write. So this is your long form notes. This is your long form notes. Then what is a short form notes? Short form notes is that you are going to write a summary of it. Okay. For example, see, when you understand the concept completely, then at the end, what do you want to revise it with? So you have to revise the formula and in what condition that formula is going to be applicable. These two things you need to write. Okay, so that will be written in short form. Because you see, for each subject, for example, if entire thermodynamics, so this long form notes is, let us say, 50 pages. Let's assume. So this should not be more than 5 pages. Short form notes should not be more than 5 pages. Even 5 pages are too much. It should not be more than 3 or 4 pages. Okay. So clear. So what do you mean that without any extra in plants it goes from low grade body to high grade body? Are you saying plant do not take any external energy? Huh? Plant takes external energy, Baba. Plant takes sunlight, plant take water. There's a chemical reaction that happens inside the plant. And due to that chemical reaction, it produces the energy, which basically when we eat converts into metabolic energy. Okay. So sunlight is basically the kind of external energy that you are giving. Okay. Got it? And it is not transferring low grade body to high grade body. First of all, you have to explain why are you saying ki, in plants the energy can transfer from low grade body to high grade body. Water is what? Are you saying water is low grade body? Low grade body is basically heat transfer. Okay, and even heat transfer can be converted to work. You see, heat transfer can be converted to work, right? Yeah, that's what I have said. So what does plant do? There's a chemical reaction that happens in plant. In order to have that chemical reaction, what is required? Sunlight is required, water is required. So photons, when sunlight comes and water is taken from basically from the air, that chemical reaction takes place. That stores the energy. Now it is the chemical reaction that is happening inside the body, inside the plant. When you eat that, so that chemical energy is converting to chemical energy is also high grade energy, right? True. So okay, you are saying that water you are uh, giving in the roots and that is going up, right? So you have to understand water is not flowing like this. Okay? Have you understood the vacuum phenomena? Do you know that like if you create a pressure difference, basically if you have a tube, okay, and you create a pressure difference, then basically fluid automatically flows upward, right? If you create a pressure difference, if there is a porous body here, क्या नाम है, small diameter body like a capillary tube, and you create a pressure difference. So here pressure is different, here the pressure is different. Okay, so what happens is so water basically sucked up. So that phenomena, basically the anatomy of plants are made like this. They are, even you see, even our blood flows up and down. How does it flow? How does it flow? It has internal phenomena, right? We have a basically pump in our body, right? That basically pumps the blood, right? So similarly, plants have their internal organs that do that. So even plants have that suction effect that basically sucks. It is not going from low grade body to higher body. It is the internal phenomena in the plant that is happening. That is basically sucking water from the bottom to the top. Okay, water is not flowing. Like if you leave water here, if I drop water here, it will not flow up. It can never flow up. Automatically, it will not flow up. But that plant itself is a machinery, Baba. Your body is a machinery, right? So even when your body pumping is happening, similarly, your plant is a body. It's a machine. Okay, it's an internal machine. It has internal organs that do that. Okay, got it? So plant is not just pumping water. Okay, so if you basically, if there is water and you put plant in there, so it will not just, like if you bring a plant and just put it there, it will not just pump water. Okay, but when you have planted when there is a plant that is growing or planted, then it has their internal organs that work like that. Okay, it is more of a biology concept, but you have to relate that with our body. So as our body works, similarly plant is also a machine. It has all the organs that is required to sustain basically, and it does that. Okay, but it has nothing to take with low grade and high grade energy. Okay, sorry. Got it? So now let's come back to our topic. Long form notes and short form notes. So this, when we talk about notes, notes is your point of view of seeing things. No, it's fine, Baba. I answered this because you mentioned low grade and high grade. Otherwise, I would not have answered this right now. I would have taken it at the end of the class because I thought you were asking a technical doubt, and this is a technical lecture, so I'll take this right now. Okay, so no issue, Baba. Okay, so but to understand it better, you need to study more about the plant anatomy. Anatomy is the right word, right? How because plant has their own organs. Okay, so if you study that, you will understand it sucks basically water. Okay, so now so notes. So notes is your point of view of seeing things. Sir, if you give me presentation slides, why should I write notes? I told you already, presentation slides are my point of view of seeing things. You might be okay with few things, but there could be few things that you are not comfortable with. And that is the reason you need to make your own notes, especially when you are at this point of time, because right now you have almost 11 months to prepare for GATE 2025. So I would highly recommend you make your own notes. If this would be, let us say, August, September, then it is very difficult to make all the notes for each and every subject. So that time also I would ask you to, come up with a shortcut or something. So I would say, okay, buy some notes from market, modify them or something. But right now I would highly recommend you make your own notes with your own pen, paper and hand. Okay. And trust me guys, it is going to help you in long run. Okay. And I told you long form notes, short form notes. You are going to study with this till December. And after December, you are going to study short form notes, January and February. When you take your mock test, then you are going to update your. And guys, remember one thing: these notes are not a permanent thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि if you have written something once, then you can't change it. You have to keep updating it whenever you are solving a question and some new trick you see that is related to some particular concept. Then you go back to your notes, write that trick there. So you have to do that. Trust me guys, you have to keep refining, keep refining, keep refining these notes till the end of the time. Even in December, you have to keep refining. Because guys, these notes you will not believe how helpful these notes will be. You see, when you see this note 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, 50 times, so there will come a point that you can actually close your eyes and you know what is written in the next 10 pages of my notes. You know everything that the first line is this. Then when I turn the page, this in the next page, first line, first formula is this. Trust me, you will be able to get to that stage. But you have to put all the hard work. So write your own notes, keep refining these notes, keep refining. Whenever you see something new about a particular concept, even if you have made the notes regarding that concept, still modify those notes again. I mean, not write the complete notes again, but just go back to the concept, star mark and write there whatever you have learned today. Okay. So, and also if you think it needs to be added in short notes, then add that to your short notes as well. Okay. So second is your notes. This will be a lifesaver for you. My presentation slides will be good, but it is good at this point of time. At the end of the day, means when you are about to give exam in last 3-4 months, your notes will be your lifesaver, not my presentation slides. You will not remember anything what is written in my presentation slides. You will only remember what is written in your own notes. Okay. Then next, that is something that I highly recommend. Okay. So next is, for example, today we have studied work transfer concept. Work transfer concept. How to calculate work transfer. Okay. So work transfer, when we talk about this topic, we define a formula. Then we talk about how to apply this formula in different processes: constant volume, constant pressure, thermal, adiabatic, polytropic. Then there are other kinds of work transfer as well. Sphere work is there, electrical work is there. Okay, other type of work transfer also there. Now, sir, do I need to solve just one second? Okay, so yeah, there is one thing that I highly recommend. That is, for example, if we have studied one concept and we talk about everything, maybe I have not done exercises today, but concept we have entirely covered. Okay. Or if there were few questions, we have solved few questions, not much. Okay, few questions we have done. Highly recommend that you go after the class, you go spend 15 minutes, revise everything that we have done, and go to gate previous year questions regarding that particular topic. Go to gate previous year question regarding that particular topic and solve. I am not saying you solve 50 questions, you solve all the last 30-year questions. I am just saying at least solve 10 questions, 5, 10, 15 questions, whatever you think, whatever time you have, but at least solve 10, 12 questions. Sir, why? Why should not I solve questions from book or anything or any other topic? Look, guys, why are we studying? What is the objective of studying? Right now, your objective is to get a rank, right? And getting a rank in GATE is very different compared to your university exam or whatever you are going to study in your MTech or whatever you are going to work in an industry, in a public sector, PSU. Okay, it is very different. So right now your focus is GATE exam. That is your main focus. If you go and start solving PKR questions, it is not going to help you because PKR question pattern is different. To modify them into gate question, we have to do a lot of modification. That we actually do when we come on YouTube sessions, and we have to modify PKR questions as per gate pattern. Either we have to give you some data so that you do not have to look for tables and everything. But if you start solving PKR questions on the first day, you will get frustrated and you think you have learned nothing. So what you do is, once we have completed the topic, go and try to solve 10-12 questions from gate previous year question. It will help you understand the level of the class first of all. Second, level of your understanding of the class. You will understand that whatever I have taught you or the teacher has taught you, the faculty has taught you, that is your teacher is going in the right direction or not. That means whatever teacher is teaching you, is he teaching the same thing that they are asking in exam, or they are asking something, teacher is teaching you something? Because it happens, absolutely happening ki in classes in 2 hours, teacher do a lot of things, but at the end of the day nothing productive is given to the students. But okay, the point is, whatever we have done in 2 hours, have you gained enough information in the right direction to solve gate questions? Even if you are not able to solve, I would say 60% of the questions, but if you are attempting 10 questions, are you able to understand, is the terminology matching? Are the words matching with what you have learned in the class or not? Are you able to relate to the concept that you have learned in the class? Are you able to write the formula or not? Are you able to solve at least 40-50% of the questions or not? If you are able to do that, that means you are in the right direction. But after 2 hours of class, if you are going and seeing the previous year question of gate and you are not able to relate even 10%, that means either something is wrong with the class, with the teacher, or with you. There is some problem. Maybe the teacher is not able to teach you properly, or maybe you are not able to understand properly, or I don't know. There could be any other reason. But the point is, whatever is happening, it is not going in the right direction. You need to understand this. So, if you need to know that everything is going in the right direction, then you need to solve gate previous year question. After class, go back, just have a snap or something, revise your concept, whatever we have studied for 15-20 minutes, then give half an hour to solve 10-12 questions of gate previous year, BYJU'S basically. That will give you a very nice idea, very clear idea about the class, the level of class, and the level of your understanding of the class. And once you do that, then later on you can solve PKR questions or any questions or whatever you want, workbook questions or whatever it is. But the first day to solve gate previous year questions. Just know this, okay? Then for concept building, I would also say you can solve gate ESC previous year objective. Concept building, whatever theoretical portion that we have covered, are you able to understand that, yes or no? Then you can do that as well. Then finally, if you want to refer some books, then there are 2 books, PKR and BYJU'S Essential. These are 2 books that I actually recommend for basic as well as applied thermodynamics. Okay, so these are these 2 books. Okay? First is PKR, this is the Indian author, and this is foreign author. Now, sir, when should I study this book? Should I study both the books? No. This PKR you will only use to practice questions. Nothing else. You are not going to study the concept from this. Concept, so I will tell you in class, right? You just have to solve questions. You can solve from here. Okay. Only to, because guys, it is very very important that you solve questions from this book, because sometimes you see that they directly ask question from this. They will modify the language, yes, but directly they will ask the question from PKNR. Even in ESC, GATE and ESC both, direct question from PKNR you will see. So practice questions you have to do from PKNR. Sir, when should I use the other book? So you will use this book. See, for example, I am teaching you a particular concept and you did not understand it. Then you ask me, sir, please explain. I explained you again. You did not understand. You asked me again, I explained you again, you did not understand. You said, sir, let's get on a call. I said, okay, ठीक I explained you have a certain doubt, but still did not understand. The point is, I have tried my best, but you have not understood this. You have Googled and everything, but still did not understood. So what you can do is, I'm not saying read the entire chapter or the book. If you have any doubt, first thing you ask me. First thing you will do, you ask me, sir, this is my doubt. How should I solve this doubt? Okay, please explain. Ask me, sir, explain this in Hindi. Ask me, sir, explain this in English. Whatever you say, I'll do it. But let us say I have tried my best. You have tried your best, and still you have few doubts about the topic. So what you do is, for that particular concept, you will go to this book and read whatever 2-3 pages that concept is covered. That's all. If you have issue with 2 concepts, go and study those 2 concepts. 3 concepts, only 3. Do not read the entire chapter, because I am here for that. Okay, I am going to explain everything. Just as an exception, if you are not able to understand a particular topic, a concept, then you can go to this book, read 2-3, just 2-3 pages that is related to that particular concept, and then you are done. You don't have to read anything extra. Okay, so this is how you are going to use. So concept clarity. This is for concept clarity. You are going to use this. Understood? Yes. चलिए. So let's move on to the chapters. How and what we are going to cover in our chapters. Just 1 second. Huh? So we start our entire thermodynamics with introduction. To thermodynamics. Introduction to thermodynamics. Sir, what do we study? We study some definition of thermodynamics. We study approaches of how do we do a thermodynamic analysis. We study different types of systems. Okay. Then we study some basic definitions. For example, sir, what is a property? What is a path? What is a process? Okay. What is a cycle? All these things we study in this particular chapter. Okay. Then there are other things as well. I am just writing whatever I remember. Okay. There are, of course, there could be other things as well. Second is, properties of pure substances. Pure substances. Sir, what all we are going to study in this? You will study, sir, what is phase? Solid phase, liquid phase, gaseous phase. Sir, what is a pure substance? Sir, what is Gibbs phase rule? Sir, TS diagram, PV diagram, PT diagram, HS diagram, property calculation, and many more things. Many more things. Sir, what is subcooled region, superheated region, wet region, solid liquid line, critical point, triple point, everything we are going to study in this. Then third chapter will be ideal and real gases. Ideal and real gases. So here we talk about ideal gas equation. What? Sir, ideal gas equation. Equation of states. Okay. Van der Waals equation. We also talk about Dalton's law of partial pressure. All these things we are going to talk about. Then fourth, we'll talk about Zeroth law. Zeroth law of thermodynamics. Sir, what are we going to understand here? So you will understand, sir, first of all, definition of Zeroth law, then measurement, temperature measurement, temperature measurement scales, then different types of thermometers, all these things we are going to see in this. So what about fifth chapter? Then we will go here for first law of thermodynamics. Achha. Then we will go to first law of thermodynamics. Sir, what we are going to study here? We will study with different processes. What are the different processes, sir? There can be infinite number of processes, but when we talk about thermodynamic processes, so we have only taken 5. Okay? Isoporic, isobaric, isothermal, adiabatic, polytropic. And then we study ideal gas equation for each process. Okay? Then we talk about work transfer. And then how to calculate work transfer in each and every particular process. Okay. What next, sir? What next? Then we'll talk about first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics for a cycle and then for a process. That we will talk about first law of thermodynamics for a cycle or a process. We will also talk about energy conservation. We will talk about stored energy and transit energies. We will talk about heat energy. We will talk about internal energy, enthalpy. All these things we'll talk in this part, which is this is the longest chapter. First law of thermodynamics is the most important in terms of weightage and in terms of time also. It takes the maximum time. Longest topic is there and maximum weightage is there from it. The next chapter we talk about second law of thermodynamics. And here we talk about statements of second law. There are two statements, right? Clausius and Kelvin lines. We talk about heat engine. We talk about heat pump. We talk about refrigerator. We talk about Carnot cycle. We talk about Carnot cycle and theorem. ठीक है? चलिए. Then we go to the most confusing topic of thermodynamics. Most confusing, but we will do it in a way that you will be able to solve 95% of the questions. And that is the feedback that I have gotten from students. Trust me, that this is the most complicated topic. That you will not even able to understand which formula to apply, which condition to apply. But if you follow the process that I will tell you in class, you will be able to solve 95% of the questions. Sir, why 95%? Why not 100%? 5% so I cannot guarantee. 5% so even the examiner cannot guarantee. You see this time how many MTAs we have gotten. Right? So even no one can see that. Okay, maybe that question is not correct. Maybe the examiner is want to say something else and you are not able to understand that. Could be anything, but you are able to solve 95% of the question. That is guaranteed if you follow that approach. Sir, what we are going to study in entropy? Many things. Okay. So we will Clausius. We will start with Clausius inequality. Entropy change. Sorry. Entropy change. Increase in entropy principle. Third law of thermodynamics. Okay, third law of thermodynamics. PMM 3 we will study here. I forgot to tell you, here we are going to study PMM 2 as well. Here we are going to study PMM 1 as well. Okay. Chalo. And there are other things as well. Space is not available, so I am not writing right now. Then 8th chapter will be available energy. Available energy. So here we will talk about availability. So space is not there, so I am just trying to write this in a availability. Okay, available energy, Gibbs free energy, Helmholtz's function. Okay, all these things we are going to study in this. Okay, TS relations we are going to study. Yes, equation. Okay, Chalo. And second law efficiency. Second law efficiency. And finally, we'll go to our last chapter, which is thermodynamic relations. Thermodynamic relations. So this is basically something that we are going to entirely cover in thermodynamics. So this is the first time. I think there are other topics that I may not have written here right now because of the space limitation. There are many more topics that we are going to cover. Okay, especially actually everywhere. Here also we have other topics. Here also we have other topics. So basically we are going to cover everything. But all in all, I have given you a broad picture that what we are going to do in the entire thermodynamics. What we are going to do in the entire thermodynamics. Okay. So I hope that you got a very nice picture of what we are going to see in the entire thermodynamics. Okay, so we are going to start from the first chapter tomorrow. Okay, and right now it was just a basic introduction part. So we have seen that what we are basically we have understood the importance of thermodynamics, basic and applied. What is the weightage? How many questions you can expect? What are the benefits of focusing on this particular subject, of course? And then what are the official syllabus? What are the reference material that you could use? What should the approach? How should you make notes? All these, and these notes and everything, it is basically applicable everywhere, not just in basic thermodynamics, applicable everywhere in every subject. Okay, and then we have seen how and what we are going to cover in the entire thermodynamics. Okay, chalo. So what we can do here is we can stop here today, and tomorrow at the same time we will talk about, we'll start our very first chapter, which is introduction to thermodynamics. Okay, so we'll start with basic definitions, definition of thermodynamics, what is the approach of thermodynamics, all these things we are going to see tomorrow. Clear? Chaliye. So let's stop here, guys, and I will see you very soon in the next class. Okay? मिलते हैं कल at 7 p.m. and guys, come live, because that is the only, if we are doing this for you, so you need to come live, otherwise we will not continue these kind of lectures, because we have to put a lot of hard work in this. Okay, chaliye.